Hello everyone, it's time for another boss guide that includes a league boss. This is gonna be Aranea or Aranea, Weaver of Agony. This is the spider boss that leagues include. I would say not very hard as a battle, not very hard to understand the mechanics, and on top of that is pretty stable as well. Anyways, you don't have to underestimate her by any means. I lost a lot of characters because I got either greedy or overconfident. Still, she possesses some nasty mechanics that you have to either avoid or kite. But I'm gonna explain this during the fight. Preparation for the fight is very hard to tell. I don't know why, but Grim Tools missed some information about her resistance shred abilities. But usually the battle involves only lighting and chaos, and there is a couple of ether ray barriers that includes ether, but usually you don't want to get hit by them. Very important to have for this fight is a rune of displacement or teleport type of ability like this one. You want to jump over the barriers, you don't want to get hit. It comes with massive damage. You're gonna put yourself in a bad spot. But just prepare some lighting and chaos. I think 40 is more than enough. Overcap I never tested because usually I avoid to take these debuffs, which I'm gonna explain during the fight. Battle is most like lighting heavy, so she did some physical damage according to her passives, but I don't think it's that much, so physical resistance not priority. Always good to have armor. I'm not sure if it's gonna apply for this fight anyway, but this is a end game fight, so it's good to not be on a fresh 100 character. Just prepare yourself a little bit better, like having 20k life pool plus again is a good thing, because she's very bursty, especially when she pop up a pneumatic burst, her pneumatic burst buff, which comes with tons of improvements in damage, offensive ability and stuff like this. Offensive, defensive ability preparation. She possesses 3100 defensive ability. So according to crit her, you need at least 3200 just to have a slightly chance for a crit, but the more the better. I would say 3500 is okay for this fight. Usually it's the milestone that I try to reach before I face her, just to speed up the battle a little bit more for myself. I did this battle on several builds. I did this on a retaliation builds, I did this on a casters, CDR casters, dot casters, and once I did it on a gunner as well. So this boss fight involves variety of builds that you can use, which is a good thing. It's not like most of the bosses that you need a specific setup. Offensive ability, she possesses 31k, 3100 or 3100. So that means you have to possess at least 3100 so you don't get any crit. I think I covered this milestone. My effective defensive ability is, because I use Veil of Shadow, so that's gonna put 130 on top of my numbers, so that's close to, but I believe for 20 DA she's not gonna crit like mad. 20 DA difference. But here is a tricky moment. During the fight she's gonna pop up a pneumatic burst, which is gonna increase her offensive ability by 185. So you have to be either kite her pneumatic burst, which is a huge buff for her. Usually I kite this. There is a few setups that can face tank this buff, sorry. But it's a very nasty buff, comes with a lot of electrocute damage. Have a chance to slower your attack speed, have a chance to slower your movement speed, and also have a chance for a fumble. Comes with 15% auto speed for her, so she's gonna be faster. And comes with 250 health regen again for her. And chance for 1000 attack damage converted to health. So it's not very good to fight her during this buff. So she's gonna leech a lot. And she's gonna return a lot of her lost life pool back. Of course this is a chance, it's not guaranteed, but still. Usually I kite this debuff. Only on a high retaliation setup I basically face tank it. So this is her offensive defensive ability. This is your preparation as well. And I'll say this is according to pharmacy, every build uses different. I'm gonna go full offensive. I'm gonna have Dranhu and Blue Funk Oil. You can use Jelly Essence or Ugdambok Juice, something that's gonna pop up your life bar a little bit more if you don't cover the milestone of 20k. Tinctures, I always use offensive tincture. This is for more resistant shred. There is not much tinctures that you can use defensively against her. Maybe if you're slower you can use something that pop up speed or something like this, but let's summon my spirits and I'm gonna explain the fight in general. I'm gonna do this in a short one, so I can pause and... Okay, this is the arena. She's gonna open on you, don't open on her. So this is her blade trap. My advice as a veteran is never go straight to her, like open on her first, because she casts this immediately, doesn't matter of the distance, at least for the first time, because she got a huge aggro range. So when you're here and pop up Blitz or something like Shadow Strike, there is a high chance you got next to her and she casts this. Usually she never casts this in a melee range, in a toe-to-toe battle, but at first you are in a distance when you open the fight. So my personal advice is wait for this so you can dodge it. It's not very hard, it's not very fast projectile, but has a longer range. This is her blade trap ability. Her class is a trickster. She possesses both shaman and trickster and nightblade abilities, sorry. So her blade trap, extremely nasty debuff on you. You got trapped. Minus 15% defensive ability, this is huge. Minus 50% shield recovery if you're a tank. Minus 50% avoid projectiles and minus 50 avoid melee attacks, which means you're basically all of your defense layers goes down to the bare minimum. Armor drops with 20% as well, which is again huge. And the most nasty thing is minus 10 to all resistances. And this is when the problems comes on top of everything else. and that plays a huge electrocute dot on you as well. And on top of that, a flat chaos, which is again with a high numbers. This fight is very unfavorable for basically summon classes. She get rid of the all summons pretty quick. She deals some bonus damage to undeads and eldritch, and also she takes less damage as well, which makes this battle very hard for any summon build. Keep that in mind. After you dodge the blade trap, I can basically open on her. Ideally, you want to face tank her. When she starts losing some life bar, she's gonna summon spiders, and I'm gonna explain what these spiders did. Watch out for the pneumatic burst when she pop up this. And this is the pneumatic burst. Usually I basically kite this. She's gonna have this on her for 20 seconds. And this comes with electrocute damage. Again, buff to her offensive ability. It's 185 as I said earlier. 15% total speed, chance for a fumble, chance for slower attack, chance for slow movement speed as well. In my opinion, I just prefer to kite this. I apply a lot of dots on her, so for the next 5-10 seconds I'm gonna score some damage and I can freely just kite. She's gonna pop a blade trap again. Okay, this is the Ether race. As you can see, she applies fumble on me and damage reduction, which is not ideal, and a nasty electrocute. You want to jump over this and watch out for her blade trap in a distance. She casts this every 15 seconds with a 3 seconds internal delay. You have to very be careful. Don't go so far away so you can watch her when she casts it. I'm gonna jump over this. This plays, I believe, elemental resistance shred and tons of damage as well. So I'm gonna just jump over and I'm gonna basically watch over her. Soon enough she's gonna drop the pneumatic burst, so I'm safe. He's good to rotate. Here is the spider. This thing is gonna shoot a projectile next to you. You are the main target. We are safe for now, but because there is some animation until this thing spawns. But at the moment you see the purple or pink projectile, you have to move the boss. You don't want to battle under this debuff. This is gonna make a field on the ground that comes with resistance shred and high DA shred close to 300. 297 according to Grimtooth. So this is not ideal. Also gonna place damage, chaos and lighting as well. This is how I lost my warlock. I didn't pay attention, didn't saw my camera was positioned very bad. There is a video in YouTube. You can see how exactly this debuff, basically she two-shot me, 2 attacks, and my corpse flies to the edge of the map because I take so much crit. Just pay attention. For now I'm safe. I'm gonna stay and waiting for the spider to spawn and here was very random. She spawns another ether ray when she lost percentage of her blood, and this was on top of me, so I take massive damage. Here is a very safe spot because even if she try to cast Blade Trap, it's gonna hit the rocks. This ability is her Blitz, deals massive chaos damage and some weapon damage, basically her normal attack. It's up to the calculation. Usually on a low DA, low armor builds hits pretty hard, but this is a very end game build, so I can't feel it. But keep in mind, in a distance, she always gonna use this Blitz to close the gap. Don't get panicked. Ideally, you wanna build like this to face tank her. Here is the spider. Probably I'm gonna kill her before we see the mechanic. But it's a purple or pink projectile that you're the main target. And there is like a lot of range like this. Maybe in a circle. When this goo hit the ground. So you have to move the boss few steps or use the terrain properly. Usually when I move her, I try to be here. I use the curves, the turns, so I can block her blade trap instead of dodge it. Sometimes this is the goo. Now it's harmless, but usually it's what they spawn. The wee spiders when they shoot at you. Sometimes the map is a little bit buggy and this can be Blade Trap can pierce through the rocks, so you have to be careful. It's not all the time blocked by it. But it's very easy to dodge. You're completely safe if you have trap resist up to 80. The trap immediately fade off. Even if you get hit, all the debuffs become stripped. But still, you don't want to get hit by it. By any means. If you have a good setup like this one, it's very easy to face tank her even in the pneumatic burst. I just kited for the showcase of the video, so I can show all the mechanics. But it's a very easy, very straightforward battle if you don't mess it up, of course. If you get trapped by the blade trap, you have two options, either escape and reset the fight, or pop up cluster. But if you got second time, got caught by the trap, just reset. It's not worth it to try to survive. Usually she's gonna blitz on you and immediately primal strike, because she used primal strike as a main attack. And you're gonna get basically two tapped. And pretty much that's the fight. That's my explanation around it. Thank you everyone for watching. See you in the next one.